Matt Spitalnik of Reuters.
Thank you, Mr. President. How do you respond to those who say the election outcome, at least in part, was voters saying that they see you as out of touch with their personal economic pain? And are you willing to make any changes in your leadership style?
You know, there is an inherent danger in being in the White House and being in the bubble. I mean, folks didn't have any complaints about my leadership style when I was running around Iowa for a year, and they got a pretty good look at me up close and personal, and they were able to lift the hood and kick the tires, and you know, I think they understood that my story was theirs. I might have a funny name, I might you know, have lived in some different places, but you know, the values of hard work and responsibility and honesty and looking out for one another that had been instilled in them by their parents, those were the same values that I took from my mom and my grandparents. And so, you know, the track record has been that when I'm out of this place, that's not an issue. When you're in this place, it is hard not to seem removed. And one of the challenges that we've got to think about is how do I meet my responsibilities here in the White House, which require a lot of hours and a lot of work, but still, you know, have that opportunity to engage with the American people on a day-to-day basis, and give them confidence that I'm listening to them. You know, those letters that I read every night, some of them just break my heart. Some of them provide me encouragement and inspiration. But nobody's filming me reading those letters. And so it's hard, I think, for people to get a sense of, well, how's he taking in all this information? So I think there are more things that we can do to make sure that I'm getting out of here. But you know, I mean, I think it's important to point out as well that you know, a couple of great communicators, Ronald Reagan and Bill Clinton, were standing at this podium 2 years into their presidency, getting very similar questions because you know, the economy wasn't working the way it needed to be, and there were a whole range of factors that made people concerned that maybe the party in power wasn't listening to them. You know, this is something that I think every president needs to go through because you know, the responsibilities of this office are so enormous, and so many people are depending on what we do. And in the rush of activity, sometimes we lose track of you know, the ways that we connected with folks that got us here in the first place, and that's something that now I'm not recommending for every future president that they take a shellacking like I did last night. You know, I'm sure there are easier ways to learn these lessons, but I do think that you know, this is a growth process and an evolution, and the relationship that I've had with the American people is one that built slowly, peaked at this incredible high, and then during the course of the last 2 years, as we've together gone through some very difficult times, has gotten rockier and tougher. And you know, it's going to, I'm sure, have some more ups and downs during the course of me being in this office. But the one thing that I just want to end on is getting out of here is good for me too, because when I travel around the country even in the toughest of these debates, in the midst of health care last year during summer when there were protesters about, and when I'm meeting families who've lost loved ones in Afghanistan or Iraq, I always come away from those interactions just feeling so much more optimistic about this country. We have such good and decent people who, on a day-to-day basis, are finding all kinds of ways to live together and educate kids and grow their communities and improve their communities and create businesses and work together to create great new products and services. And, the American people always make me optimistic, and that's why during the course of the last 2 years, as tough as it's been, as many sometimes scary moments as we've gone through, I've never doubted that we're going to emerge stronger than we were before. And I think that remains true, and I'm just going to be looking forward to playing my part in helping that journey along. All right? Thank you very much, everybody.
Mr. President.